All right, boys, the time has come. It is our Godzilla versus Kong review, and I've got a classic Godzilla joke for you. All ready?
All right.
Oh yeah.
All right. What does Godzilla do part-time when he's not destroying cities?
Um,
I don't know what.
I don't know.
He flips houses. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Real Heroes Show. We've got Corey here, as always, with Nick and Kevin. If you are new to the channel, please go ahead and click that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, so that way you don't miss any of our new content. In today's video, we are going to have a very spoiler-heavy review of the new film Monkey vs. Lizard, otherwise known as Godzilla vs. Kong. This movie premiered yesterday in theaters and on HBO Max, which is something that we will talk about because the presentation was pretty interesting. But it's the best performing film in the United States day one since the pandemic hit. Did almost $10 million in box office, which means that Warner Brothers has a real hit on their hands here. So we're going to break down our thoughts, and then if you stick through all the way to the end, we're going to give our score out of 10. So Kevin, what are your thoughts on this one, man?
Oh man, they gave us what we wanted on this one, I think. I mean, we got some huge moments. We got some, just kind of legendary shit that we've been hoping to see for a long time. From Mechagodzilla to Kong sitting on the throne, and just the all-out battles and destroying cities, and it's exactly what you want from one of these kaiju movies. It was fantastic.
Sweet. Nick, what about you? What are your positive thoughts? I know that you're a huge Godzilla stan, so
it was I don't know if I could have asked for anything more, really. I kind of figured and theorized that we were going to get some form of mecha, whether it be Mecha Godira, based on the way the King of the Monsters ended. So that was true to a certain extent. But of course, Mecha Godzilla is big in the Godzilla lore. So great to see. I love the adaptation that they created for Mecha Godzilla. I think they were did something new from obviously the past, but made it super modernized and futuristic, and just seeing Hollow Earth, and that was amazing. Looked beautiful
and unexpected.
A little bit.
There was none of that in the trailers, I don't think.
None.
No, I don't think so. And it was such a beautiful homage to Journey to the Center of the Earth, even when it comes down to the characters' names. I mean, in the book, it's Otto Lindenbrock, and in this, it's Nathan Lind. So it's even there. It's a little bit of a callback to the book. So it was gorgeous.
I think the only thing I remember seeing from the trailer was when Kong puts his hand on the rock and pushes the doors open. I don't think we saw much more than that. Maybe when he was getting transported to Antarctica, but it's crazy just how they've sort of built this whole kaiju verse with Kong and Godzilla from Skull Island to this. Only 4 movies, but even then, it's something that again. Warner Brothers has something that has continuity, unlike DC. But look, you got giant monsters that can pull it off. So I maybe take a page out of this and do it with some DC. But I'd say for the amount of human interaction in this movie, being far less than other movies was great. I think that's why this movie superseded the other movies because of that, right? It just made it all the more better, and especially the runtime had a lot to do with it.
The runtime was huge. The last one was King of the Monsters, I guess, in theatrical release, right? That one was just a little bit too long, and it was because of all the it got like really burdened by all the human stuff, and it got just like it slogged at certain points. This one was very lean and very mean. It did what it advertised. It gave us Godzilla versus Kong, not once, not twice, but 3 times, which was awesome. The Hollow Earth stuff was incredible. The visual effects on where the gravity line was and everything was super duper cool. The fact that the journey was really more about Kong than it was about Godzilla. I thought it was going to be the other way around. I thought we were going to get way more Godzilla, but Godzilla showed up when he needed to and did what he does best, which was great. I loved the fact that they fought in daylight instead of in the pitch black of night. A lot of people complained about 2014 Godzilla and King of the Monsters because the climactic battles at the end of both of those films take place at night, and it's just a lot of pitch black with like really bright flashy lights that happen. This one, the final battle took place at sunrise, and the visual effects and everything just looked beautiful, and it was it was great to see it that way.
It was fantastic.
I think
overall, go ahead.
I was I think the piggyback on that just a little bit for lighting, specifically in lighting, was when Godzilla first goes to Hong Kong and all the buildings and neon lights, him glowing blue with his back and his eyes, like just the visuals on that were really cool, really neat, and well done. So it didn't keep him in the dark either, right? Like that second fight, I guess, but the first fight over in Hong Kong, it wasn't like I can't see Godzilla, I can't see King Kong fighting. It's like, no, you could definitely see them.
Oh yeah.
And Godzilla's just lasering buildings in half.
I would like to know the body count from this film. Because there were a lot of very tall buildings that were destroyed.
Absolutely.
Probably millions.
Holy shit.
The couple other things I'll say quickly that I liked. I liked for the sake of Godzilla, he didn't have this like whoom, 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 whoom to build up his atomic breath. He was like, nope, I'm gonna fire that shit on command and do it a lot. He used it for offense, he used it for defense and countering the fights, because Godzilla kept trying to pull his mouth open. Mechagodzilla tried to do the same, and he would blast it, because it's like that shit just burn your fingers right off, right? So it's like, hell yeah, you'd want to pull away from that, but
we also need to bring up the fact that King Kong had his own version of Stormbreaker.
Yes,
that was amazing.
Super awesome.
And it was charged with basically lightning or something.
It's unbelievable. And like when he's holding it, it looks like it's normal sized. And then at one part where he loses it or he puts it down or whatever, it's literally the size of a fucking skyscraper.
That thing is
fucking huge.
Man,
it's enormous.
If you're looking for excess, just ridiculous popcorn style stuff, this movie is it. This is like, I would call it the first summer blockbuster of the year. I know it's not exactly summertime, but it had that blockbuster feel to it for sure.
It did, and I also liked how they kind of humanized Kong in this one, even more so than usual, but actually allowed him to communicate via sign language, and especially when they got back to Hollow Earth, and you can see things like a throne and some rudimentary technology and statues and a home with doors and like all this kind of stuff, and it lets you know that society, that the original Titan society, the family that he came from, was far more advanced than what we would expect.
We're led to believe,
from Kong himself just being on Skull Island,
right?
Which was that was really, really cool to get kind of a glimpse into the past there. Just seeing like a couple of the other creatures that existed there, these weird looking bat vultures, little crabs, like the flying like dragon snakes that he fights, like
when he disemboweled one of those things,
oh my god, that was hilarious,
man.
He pulled the head off
and then just
was like
he's like I'm thirsty. I need some blood.
Man wants to drink a little blood. So
savage.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was great.
What's the rating on this? Is it R or is it PG-13? Because there was
I didn't look. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Usually that level of violence is
I
R-rated.
want to say probably R, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's only PG-13, just for the sake of, you don't really have you don't see human gore, or like excessive cursing.
All the violence is monster related.
Exactly. So,
yeah.
So Lynn's brother, I kind of like the fact that they included him, because was that supposed to be? That wasn't supposed to be Tom Hiddleston, right?
I don't think that's who that was,
because it didn't look like him in the picture.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The picture didn't. I don't remember Hiddleston's character's name, but they did mention his brother's name once, and it just didn't ring a bell. So I'd be surprised if that's who that was.
Power of the internet here.
I kind of thought that would have been.
Corey's
cool
gonna snoop it while we're talking.
Yeah, that works. I thought it would have been really cool if it was, because it kind of makes you question, well, why wasn't Tom Hiddleston in this movie? I mean, I don't know if he would have said I need a bigger part, but it's not about you.
His character would have been like 40 years older too, because doesn't Skull Island take place in the 70s?
That is
true. Yeah.
So you're right. Maybe it would have been. Might not have been. Maybe it would have been cool if that was his father.
Tom Hiddleston's character's name is James Conrad.
Yeah,
in Skull Island. So.
Yeah, I forgot that took place so far back.
Yep.
Which explains how they were able to build such an amazing
that was cool, man. The
dome thing. Yeah, the containment thing. That first scene, by the way, was amazing. Just watching Kong wake up and scratch his ass and
the man
take a shower.
Typical man.
Pull a tree out of the ground, strip it off, and then just throw it right into the sky. And you're like, what the fuck is he? Oh my God.
He knows something's up, because he does a little, like, he sniffs, like he just smells that something's not right here. It's like, this isn't normal air.
Yeah.
Is it air breathing?
The only thing that could have made that better is if he scratched his ass, smelled it, and then passed out. For real though, the time jump that you guys mentioned, not only do they get the chance to build that dome, it also gave them a chance to let Kong physically get bigger. Because if you look at him in Skull Island, he's quite a bit smaller than he is in this movie. But he needs to be bigger in this one, because if he wasn't, he'd stand literally zero chance fighting Godzilla.
Yeah. So Godzilla would have eaten him alive.
He was enormous in this one.
So any gripes? Anything that didn't work for you?
I think we all have the same gripe.
Yeah.
Just the fucking sound.
It was horrible.
Unrelated to the movie itself, but just the audio quality from HBO Max.
Yeah, and from what I can gather, I did some research after I watched the film. Apparently, if you saw it in theaters, that was not the case. There were some folks that saw it in theaters that immediately said, I can't wait to own this, because the soundtrack and everything was insane. And then a lot of folks that watched it on HBO Max had a real issue with the dialogue was just kind of like buried under everything else, and it got very, very, very quiet. And then action sequences were really loud. It seemed a little bit off. Even more so, HBO has never been the best when it comes to streaming quality, but this felt considerably worse than like Wonder Woman and The Little Things and the Snyder Cut or whatever. So I don't know what was going on with that. Maybe their servers might have gotten hammered, and
that was
sending out compressed audio or something. I don't know, but
streaming quality.
I'm not sure. My only other gripe, it is only a kind of a gripe, because it kind of needed to happen as well. But the Bernie, that character, the podcast guy. Him with Millie Bobby Brown getting around everything that they got around
before getting caught
as easily as they did, and then them just knowing what each other was thinking after having only just met, and like all that kind of stuff. It was just a little bit too convenient.
A little bit. It's too quick.
But at the same time, they needed that element to kind of explain what was happening with Mechagodzilla and all the stuff that was happening behind the scenes, to know that, you know, this was based off of Ghidorah's brain and all that. I mean, that needed to be explained.
Yep.
And it was better that it was discovered rather than some big exposition by the villain.
Yeah, show don't tell, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So it did feel a little bit rushed and convenient, but at the same time, it got us where we needed to go. So I'm not sure
Exactly.
it's the total gripe, but that's really my only negative.
Yeah,
I think I would say for me, the only thing is that they have this ridiculous mecha Godzilla, and then he's just gone in like 5 minutes. It kind of felt
Yeah.
like Doomsday from Batman vs Superman, where it's like there's all this like, oh my god, that thing is gonna fucking kill everyone. And then a few minutes later, he's just gone and everything's fine. You know,
Yeah.
maybe if they took 10 minutes of the movie that was there and cut it to give a little bit more substance to the Mecha Godzilla character, the end might have worked a little bit more, but that's, you know, we're picking nits at this point, because at the end we got to see Godzilla and Kong fight a Mecha Godzilla, and
yeah,
the child in us was happy. So
yeah.
Absolutely.
I would just say the same about maybe a little bit more. Like I would like to see maybe a little bit more terrorizing from Mechagodzilla,
right.
and then having to get Kong and Godzilla to unite. You know, again, like they kind of did obviously, but you know, the little girl with the sign language was like, you know, Godzilla's not the enemy, and Kong's like,
Fine.
you know, like he just whipped my ass. He almost killed me. What are you talking about? And like, you know, I mean, they kind of went their separate ways and I guess in peace or whatever. But only gripe is, so you mean to tell me you shut off the systems by pouring some liquor on it? Like,
There were a couple things that were a
something
little
that-
convenient.
Plot
something that
conveniences.
powerful just was like the drill. You know, I was kind of waiting for Godzilla to just like use his atomic breath and just, you know, sever the tail in half, which would have been really cool. And then Kong takes the tail and like jams it right in Mechagodzilla's eye or something like that. Like just something a little bit more actiony. But nope. You know, when in doubt, pour liquor or liquids on a computer to screw it all up.
Hey man, never doubt the power of like 20-year-old whiskey.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Kevin will back me up on that one.
yeah.
100%.
Good bourbon or whatever it was, or whiskey, right?
Oh my gosh. All right, boys. So, you know, we've talked about what we liked, what we didn't like. Where do we sit on a scale of 1 to 10? Nick, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 9.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm sure I'm gonna watch this movie plenty of times, and I'll probably own it as well on
Cool.
4K DVD. So
I love that you loved it. That's awesome.
I think just again the nostalgia. I'm sure once I get good sound out of it, I'll like it even more. So I think for the sake of maybe the future thought of it, I want to give it a solid rating. I think best out of the 4 movies. So
Okay.
I got to rate it the highest.
Cool. Kevin?
Considering the kind of movie that it is, this is a movie. This is not a film. You know what I mean? This is not something that you have to think about or anything like that. It's a fun ride. And I agree with you. It's probably, I don't know that I enjoyed it more than Skull Island, because I really enjoyed Skull Island a lot. But I did enjoy this more than the other Godzilla movies.
Right.
I think it was fantastic. So I would give it I'm going to give it a 7.5. Not because I didn't like it, but just because it is what it is. You know what I mean?
It's a popcorn movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I fall in the same boat. I'm solid 7.5 on it. I am neck and neck between that and Skull Island for which one out of the 4 I like the best. It's almost not fair though, because Skull Island has a very good cast.
It does.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't skimp on the actors for that one, and it shows. You know, it has a little bit more substance to it. But
Sure.
yeah, I would say out of the 3 Godzilla ones, I like this one by far the most. Just because you can actually see what was happening the whole time, which is great, and it cut out all the fat when it came to the human characters. So solid 7.5 for me. I wish I could have seen it in a theater if I would have been brave enough to go see it that way, because I think it'd be pretty awesome on like an
Yeah.
I think so.
So our average score is an 8. So
which is fair, right?
Yeah,
like,
as a
I
group.
think it's the kid in me, the nostalgia of being such a big Godzilla fan, where I'm like, I gotta give it a high rating because Godzilla's fucking awesome.
Well, and I think we can all agree it's definitely worth checking out, whether or not you go to see it.
Oh
in
yeah,
theater,
for sure.
Or if you want to just,
Absolutely.
kick up your feet in your PJs and watch it at home on HBO Max, just be ready to crank the audio up a little bit to get a good experience out of it.
Yeah.
Give it a watch.
Cool. Yeah, so that'll do it for this one, fellas. Guys, we'd love to hear your thoughts. If you've seen this movie already and you have a score out of 10, we'd love for you to leave us a comment below and let us know what you thought. Go ahead and like the video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn on those notifications so that way you don't miss any more from us. And be on the lookout next week. We're going to have some more Falcon and Winter Soldier content coming. We will finally have our review. Gosh, at this point, it'll be for the first 4 episodes of Invincible over on Amazon, which we're all enjoying very much.
Oh yeah.
So again, thanks for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video.